starting the podcast.
Do your peaks look good? So like if I do this and if I flip this.
Oh, you're streaming live on Facebook.
Yes, 3, 2, 1.
Hi. Hi, people in Facebook land. And wait, is this supposed to be a video?
No, it's just going to be audio.
But
otherwise I've got to hold it. No,
Oh,
I'm not an appearance kind of guy. People are just going to be seeing a live black thing.
Hi, it's Dakota.
Well, I mean, I guess if you really, 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 really want it to be.
Yeah.
Like, where could I
set this up?
Yeah. Like if I had this. Yeah, but no, see, I won't be able to see the comments. You just want it on you?
No.
Okay, we're good then. We could just show the ceiling.
And
you know what would be cool is if like I hope when I drop that it goes the way, like if we had like a cool crazy video. You know what I'm talking about? Like a trippy fucking like
like a graphic?
Peaks and like a graphic. Like let's see here.
Like when you listen to music on your computer and it just
like
crazy squares. Hey, check it out, it's crazy squares.
Like if I put like trippin'.
Paranoid trippin'.
Is that a music video?
I don't know. Trippin' graphic. Whoa.
But we kill the music. No, I don't want.
That's a little erotic.
Trippin', like images.
Bowels.
Was that on there?
No.
Like this?
Whoa. DMT trip simulation. Here we go.
So hold on, now let's make sure that.
Go.
Okay, so that was still recording.
Your brain makes when you die. It's like the death chemical.
Look, it's 2 hours long. So if I flip the video. Uh-oh. Okay, now we're good. Or, I don't, if we put it on.
I think we're all good if we don't do anything with the live stream.
Okay, alright. We're good, right? I mean, if we put it up more.
Wait, who's looking? How do we know? Oh my god, there are people watching.
There's one. But, okay, so we're going live. See, that's the thing, is like I can do,
Who's Gabrielle? Hi, Gabrielle!
She was in the,
Heckin' frig, man.
She was in the movie.
Oh yeah, Gabby.
Right.
Rock on, how's it going?
So, okay, anyways, we're back to, Sequel Podcast. So welcome to Sequel Podcast.
Yay!
It's been a while. It's been a little while. Radio silence.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I'm Matt Bonta, and with me,
Dakota Kimes.
Right. Dakota's back in the saddle. It's been a little while. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Dakota's got a baby on the way.
So getting ready for that has been...
Oh, and we're live.
Oh yeah, live also.
We're live on Facebook, so if anyone's actually listening...
Nope, Gabrielle's off now.
Does it say?
No, we just have no viewership up by live.
Oh, did it have a number up there?
Oh, yeah, that's how you put... You said, oh, we have one. And the only number 1 was up next to the live thing.
Oh, well, like, bring up Facebook on your phone.
Wait, I think we're getting in a technology loop and we're taking away from what it is that we're trying.
Well, no. We're doing a little experiment. Like, because if you just scroll on your phone and you stop on the video and it's playing, this is really cool.
Yeah, dude.
You know, and then it starts playing, you'll see your number on there. And, here, let me put a comment on here.
Oh, check it.
Starts playing, you'll see your number on there. Yeah, but see, here, let me. But that's not live.
It's slightly lagged.
Right. We're podcasting. Anyone has topics?
Get on up.
Topics or whatevs. Just shout it out.
Is it sad that I'm the only one watching?
Oh, wait, do it again. So you said there was a number, right? Oh, there it is, right there. Dakota Kimes is watching. There's that loop that you were talking about, Dakota.
The poop loop.
Like, I need this higher. That's what she said. Grab that hat.
The hat. Oh, sorry, Oreo.
Right.
Oreo,
So
come
I mean,
hold this
our audio, but see, then again, I won't be able to see.
Oh no, dude, that's gonna fall. Like, oh no way! It totally worked. I am impressed with your balancing prowess, sir.
You know what? Let's go this way. It did work.
And then it didn't. Is that a hat for your dog?
I don't know. It came from, I think, a coworker of Rose's. All right. We've got the trip show. Hopefully it's not some kind of copywritten infringement of some sort.
Yeah, dude. We're so getting sued.
But I'm not going to post the video. It'll be live for right now because I always turn the podcast into YouTube videos, and that'll be the medium to go back and
the audio. Nice.
So as of now, we got nobody listening. But anyways, now that we've got technical difficulties out of hand, this is the very first live podcast.
Dude. But it's not really
No, this is live. This is live.
I guess.
I could even go live on YouTube if I wanted to as well.
What?
And have two, but I've got like 8 subscribers on YouTube, I don't think. I don't know how the live works on YouTube because I go to YouTube and I search for videos. Yeah. I don't have some kind of like, as far as I know, nothing's ever been notified me of any of my subscriptions going live.
Oh, okay.
But whatever. Do you want something to drink? Something harder than that?
No.
Are you not drinking alcohol anymore?
No, I am, but I'm just not in a drinking mood.
Not today.
Not today.
No. In that drawer, there's a book. Top drawer. Hand me the book. Don't look at it, though. All right. Okay, we'll get to that later. So here we are, Dakota. We're podcasting. No viewers as of yet, which is fine. It's fine.
Which is fine. You know, we're starting out.
Right.
Maiden voyage.
How you been since we were here last?
Dude,
Anything
it's literally
interesting?
been baby stuff and...
Do you have a crib in there?
No, none of the furniture yet.
Do you have the furniture?
No.
Is your dad gonna make it?
No.
Like, your dad's not like, I'm gonna build everything from scratch.
No.
We're gonna go fucking tear down some trees.
No, we did go through and gut that whole room and like...
You and your dad, or just
it.
you? Nicole?
My dad and I... Nicole actually helped a little bit. She was...
Here, guys, lemonade.
No, she was in there sanding all the joints on all like the trim. We did redid all the trim in the room, and then did a bunch of like a different design on the back wall, like halfway up the wall, and laid in a bunch of pieces. And yeah, she went through and sanded all the joints on that, and was helping me caulk everything in, and it was fun.
Is she big?
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen Nicole since before you told me she was pregnant.
What?
Yeah. Bro, I have not seen Nicole since you guys got married, I guess. So never mind, I lied. But, like, when
she wasn't showing at all at the wedding. Like,
right, well, I mean, like, but before the wedding, I couldn't even tell, like, probably when we went and maybe went over to your place and played with John.
Yeah.
Was probably the last time. So, like...
Oh, shit.
So, like, your wedding, and then she wasn't pregnant.
She is pregnant.
So
dude.
She's got, like, a watermelon.
Oh, no,
You
dude.
come home with
like,
watermelon
like,
and, like, hey-oh!
She surpassed half a basketball, like, a while ago.
Half a basketball?
Dude, she's, like, doof.
Is she mean? Do you want to go on record?
Not really. I mean, she's super cool. She seems to be taking everything in stride and doing pretty good about
right.
Losing
there's
her
no like
shit.
the typical craving stuff.
No, not particularly.
That you know of, like she's not like pickles and ice cream. Get me fucking chicken
vegetables
nuggets.
and like salads and weird shit like that. where she's normally not that way.
She doesn't like fucking veggies?
No, she... Not as a... Like, you know, she doesn't go out of her way to eat vegetables as a rule, but it seems like the last month or so, that's like she can't get enough, dude.
Corey's watching.
No, he says penis wrinkle.
And he says it's a trap.
It's a trap.
So you guys are pretty excited. You're having a girl, right?
Yep.
Did you paint the room pink?
No, we didn't know.
Paint it purple?
No.
Black?
No.
It's just like a fucking void of darkness. You can't tell the distance. Like everything is just fucking black.
That's
black sheets.
We went through and fucking painted 3 of the walls like a lighter gray, and then
like a primer?
No, a little bit darker than like an auto primer.
Okay. But that's the permanent color, or
that's the wall color, yes. And
right. So it's like your primer then.
What?
You're gonna paint over that gray?
No.
Why is the gray the color that you chose? You went
because gray goes with the green that we put on the one wall, and it goes with the carpet that we put in.
So you're going with like a male slanted colored room for your child that is.
How the fuck is that male?
Isn't green more associated with a boy than a girl?
Where the fuck are you getting this information?
I don't know.
You're not allowed to talk to Nicole about paint.
Corey says gender fluid.
Yeah, my baby will be gender fluid. That's why we
what does that even mean?
Chose a sexually androgynous name.
She might fucking, the doctor's like, oh, it's a girl, but the doctor didn't see like the penis that was also there.
And we'll keep the same name. Morgan. Morgan works for both boys and girls.
Or a boy girl.
Or a boy girl.
So we live in a society where everything is like multiple gendered. It's no longer just boys and girls.
Dude, I so don't believe in that.
Watch yourself now, son.
No, yeah, I might have to check my white privilege, but I just don't really fully understand. I understand.
Well, you got the LG.
So, I totally understand.
He gets it.
Male, female, and transgender. Transgender takes up everything that's inside between male and female.
Let's break down transgender as we know it without consulting the official thing.
There is no official thing. Fuck those hippies.
So is a transgender is a vagina and a penis at the same time?
A wiener and a vagina.
Or is a transgender someone who is a boy that wants to be a girl or a girl that wants to be a boy?
See, I would define as like as
it's too
biologically born with both male and female genitalia as a hermaphrodite.
So if someone's born with both, do they both work or does only one work? And
I don't know.
Sew one up or chop one off?
I have no idea.
Wait and see if she grows boobs, and then we'll figure it out from there.
I don't know, but I think that transgender is that I think of it like somebody who is looking to transfer genders, like meaning that somebody's transferring from male to female.
All right, okay, I can get behind that because it says trans.
Yes.
As in transfer, like you just said. Okay, yeah. I can get behind that.
So that's how I define transgender. But I like the whole non-binary, like I'm not a boy or a girl.
I'm a woman in a man's body.
I just don't understand that whole mentality and why you would be looking to be taken seriously when I think that biologically you are assigned a gender.
Sure.
And I totally understand
the idea. You're born with a gender.
Exactly. I could how I like
except
came to
for
grips
the confusing situation where you're born with both genders.
Exactly. And then, your parents choose, and if they choose wrong, then you would end up being transgendered.
They sit you down and like, you're not like everybody else.
Yeah.
You get to choose. And then we'll talk about whether you choose God or not. You've got a lot of options to come up in your life.
He didn't choose you. But, I don't know, how I came to grips with the whole transgendered thing is I had somebody pose the question to me, like, imagine you, like, everything that you are and the way that you think and the way that the things that you enjoy and everything that is you're just in a woman's body.
Right.
And I feel like to some degree that would just be torturous. I mean, knowing that I'm a guy but being in a woman's body and looking to make that transfer, I'm all for that. And I'm all for people's freedom to do so. But the whole like
very good, Dakota.
non-binary and like that just
you're just as
me.
confused.
What about the non-binary thing? It's confusing as shit. Especially because it seems to me like there are these groups of people who are pushing acceptance. Oh no, accept this, and we finally do. We're like, okay, the majority of society is like, okay, transgender, we get it. It may not be my favorite thing, and it may not be the most comfortable subject to talk about, but cool, it happens, and I can accept that. And then they want to push another agenda. You never heard about non-binary people or people like refusing to identify with a specific gender before. You never heard of that before. Because I think people have lost the understanding that on some level, and even transgender is hindered on the biological assignment of gender.
Yes.
That's it.
That's
so
it.
So you do have some responsibility to your own biology, and what end of the reproduction system do you have?
Right. So
you got the dough or the oven,
right?
Dough. Make the pizza.
Okay, pizza dough.
Oh yeah, not dough like
dough, like a deer, a female deer.
Ray, a drop of golden sun. Me, a name I call myself.
All right, Dakota.
Far along a way to run.
So I bought this book.
You're not gonna let me finish this.
Fine. Do you got more to say?
It's do re mi fa sol la ti do.
We've got copyrights that we need to worry about.
That's not copyright. Oh, it might be fucking stupid.
So I bought
Welcome to America. Go ahead.
This book for podcasting specifically. I randomly pull a page out, and it's what is the book called again? Questions for Terrible People.
Wait.
And it's double-sided, and it'll be a topic starter. Okay. I did it once already. I did it once with Ivy. Okay, so Dakota, the question is,
the question is a tough one.
It is a tough one, and it's something you'll have to think about in 5 years. What happened? There we go. Hold on. Trying to get it centered. That looks centered, right? Is that in the center? That looks good. That's in the center. Okay. Would you rather, Dakota, kill, cook, and eat a random gerbil, or have your 5-year-old child's beloved pet gerbil, who's also their best friend, die suddenly?
I'd rather have that gerbil die suddenly.
Rather than kill, cook, and eat a random gerbil?
Absolutely. See, I am of the school of thought that pain, if dealt with correctly,
so it's a learning
it's an enormous learning experience
for the child.
Exactly. And dude, you have pets knowing that they're going to die, and I think that the reason
I don't really think that that's something you think about when you get a pet.
Dude, I do.
When you go and get a new pet, you're like,
it's the
how am I going to cope with the end of the situation?
It's the bittersweet beauty.
I have never
ownership.
once thought about my animals dying.
It's when you get a puppy, you just know that, like, first off, this is going to be temporary, and they're only going to be this cute and this lovable and this like.
That goes unsaid, sure, but I never once put it into my mind like, well, I don't really want to deal with the end of this relationship.
But I also think that I think it's a good thing. I think it's beautiful that you get to give all of yourself to them.
You get a full circle when you're buying it. Or getting it or whatever, adopting it.
And yes, and I think that there's a lot of applicable things that you learn to apply to your own life. And this same cycle will happen to you. When your dog gets old and he's like, dude, my parents have a Sheltie who's like 15.
Didn't you lose a cat over too as well?
Yeah.
Your big old fat cat?
Yeah, Rufka.
Look, is that? I thought it was a different name.
Or were you talking about Owen?
No. I remember
ginger
Owen.
cat.
No, I remember Owen. No, like the one you had with your dad.
Yeah, Rufka, like the super.
I never got to see.
Huge.
Right, I
She
heard
was like
stories.
35 pounds when she died, dude. But
So you've got a dog. Your parents have a dog that's on the way out.
yeah, but you
A dog
watch
you
him,
grew up with.
Yeah, you watch him like struggle, and you watch him like struggle to get around, and you remember the way that he was, and he used.
How old is the dog now?
He's like 15. Dude,
so,
like he's
like essentially when you were like fucking.
dude, twilight of my life.
Like 8 years old or so.
No, so it's a weird story. My Aunt Rinda got him.
Okay, so not
initially.
a puppy then.
No, I didn't see him as a puppy.
Okay.
My Aunt Rinda had him, and then something happened. My grandma ended up with him, and then my dad went down to visit my grandma, and they were like mistreating him, I guess. And my dad was like, "Dude, I'm taking that dog."
Right.
And so he took the dog.
If you don't want to deal
Bud
with
was,
responsibility.
Bud was like 7 when that happened. That was like a long.
What kind of dog did you say?
A Sheltie.
What
it's
is?
Like a.
Is that a little dog?
It's a miniature Lassie.
Okay.
He's like, he's
sure,
like 30 pounds. He's like a medium dog. But
real furry, long nose.
Super long fur, yeah, the long nose. Super cool dog though.
Mm-hmm.
Like crazy smart, awesome. But you see that he's not the way that he was when he came home for the first time. You know what I'm
Sleeping
saying?
all the time.
Sleeping all the time. He's
Just
he's starting
goes
to get to
from
the point.
sleeping to food.
He's getting to the point where he
back to
can't
sleeping.
get up and he can't go to the bathroom in the middle of the day unless somebody's home because
Mhm.
he'll just piss and then you'll come home and he's laying in a puddle of his own piss.
Right. Jesus Christ.
And
you know that's how Charlie was kind of. Charlie was like because there's shit all over the house.
yeah.
And we're looking, and I look out in the litter box outside, and he's just laying in the litter box, crying.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But I think that...
Loss of all kind of function.
It puts your own life into perspective. At least it does for me.
I mean, maybe in the moment, but then you move
No.
on, and you gotta get up, and you gotta go to work again. And
See,
like,
I'm not... I am the kind of person that if I don't focus on, like, longevity and I focus on, like, things outside of right now, if I don't do that, then I lose sight of what's really important. I get caught up in, like, I need to go to work, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. And those responsibilities of the now don't go away. But to some degree, you have to step outside of those and look at your real path and looking at building and maintaining relationships that mean something to you.
Mm-hmm.
And, taking something that you have with that dog or that cat or that gerbil or anything like that.
the same gerbil that you plan on killing
Exactly.
after it drops dead.
Get the fuck out. But taking that and really focusing on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's you're just better for it. At least I'm better off doing it. And it helps me cope with other people's death much better because I have the understanding. There's no selfish way to go about it.
There's no way. I honestly don't think that experiencing one death, person or animal, is going to help you cope with the next one that comes along.
I think it does.
I don't.
I think
so
if you
at
just,
all.
for me at least, taking the understanding that it happens to absolutely everything.
Given
sure. Enough time, the very house that we're sitting in will wither and rot away.
Right.
And all of the towers and mountains that are right here and the towers that we build and everything is temporary. And it just lies outside of the scope of the human mind.
Right.
Is because the human mind perceives things start to finish, beginning to end.
Absolutely.
And not everything is that way. There
Every
are things
beginning
outside
has an
of that.
ending. Absolutely. I'm with you there.
I think that accepting that, and again, back to this question, it's super important that my daughter understands that, is because it keeps you from wasting it.
So 5 years old.
At 5 years old.
I don't think 5 years old is the worst.
Dude.
The worst age to lose an animal.
Dude.
I think 5 would probably be the beginning of the point where it would be easier to start explaining it. Like, I don't know what Ivy did for Melody when Charlie died, but I know that there was something there because Like, they would say things like, no more Charlie Cat, or bye-bye Charlie Cat, or something like that. So something was said between her and Little Melody. So I don't know. But, I mean, she would have been 2.
I don't...
2. So, like, she's going to go on to forget.
I don't think that your kid being young is a good enough excuse.
Congratulations. This is your most liked live video yet.
Bam. How many likes we got?
Doesn't
we
say.
need to stop focusing on that. We're going to lose our one viewer.
Jeff.
Jeff. Oh, Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Is it the Jeff I'm talking about?
Yeah, it is the Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
The Jeff you worked with on Patriot Zombie.
Yeah. What's up, man?
What's funny is, like, it says watching. Doesn't necessarily mean listening.
That's true.
Because I see live videos all the time on my feed, and I'll just look at them.
Well,
but
we're
unless
holding one for
if
a while.
I click on, he's got high. It's like, I
don't know. Back to the question and the stream of conversation.
Right, I think you were going.
I think it's important. I don't think that
explanation of the death of an animal to your own 5-year-old child.
My own 5-year-old.
Also, their best friend is the gerbil that has suddenly died. Now, before we get to that, would you buy a gerbil for your child?
Yeah.
You think that's an okay pet?
Yeah.
Did you have a gerbil?
Yeah, I had gerbils, guinea pigs, fucking...
I never had any of that. I've always had cats, but, I mean, I've never had tiny animals.
That's my parents always had dogs, and...
Did you ask for the gerbil?
I asked for the guinea pig and the gerbil, yeah. You know, it wasn't ever like, oh, here's something you didn't ask for, like... Just because...
Well, I mean, like, it could be, like, a starter animal for a child. Like, your parents can be like, you can't have a dog, but, you know, we'll start with this and see, you know, if you take care of it, maybe we'll get you the dog after this gerbil. After you kill, cook, and eat this fucking gerbil.
No. I don't know. But
you see what I'm saying, though, right? A gerbil could be a good starter animal. Like, if they're like, we don't want to get you a dog because we know you're not going to fucking take care of it. But we'll get you a gerbil.
There's no not taking care of it, and that's the thing that
you hear it all the time where they're like,
you
if
don't
get it for you, I'm gonna end up taking care of it.
You don't say that to a kid because then that's an option.
They're like, what?
And you know what your job needs to be as a parent is to remind that kid, hey, dude, clean that thing's cage. Does your gerbil have water? That's your job,
right?
Because your kid is a kid.
You were gonna say fucking idiot.
It's inherently a kid.
Right.
Think about when you were a kid. Did you just remember?
Ignorance never goes away, but you're born with total ignorance.
Exactly. And you're not born with this sense of responsibility and this sense of like, you have to develop the sense of like, you are responsible for this thing's life.
A learned quality.
Yes. And it's your responsibility as a parent to monitor that. But you never tell your child, oh, I'm not doing that because I'll end up taking care of it. Because then in their head, that's an option. Mm-hmm. Be very, very concise. You take care of this thing. And
I'm really interested to see how...
I feel like I'm going to be a good dad. I'm confident that I'm going to be a good dad.
I'm confident in that.
I'm scared because I don't really know how I'm going to accomplish that.
27?
28.
28?
Yeah.
29 soon? Couple months?
July, yeah. Fuck, coming up on 30.
So your next birthday, you will have a child.
Yeah. And
when's Nicole's November?
Right around Father's Day. Yeah, Nicole's is November 9th. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Oh, shit.
8th. No, it's the 8th.
She's listening.
No. Is she?
No.
Oh, fuck. That's the one part she heard. But,
a screen full of exclamation points.
Eat shit, Dakota. You don't live here anymore. No. But, I that's something that I'm really, really, I see an enormous value in my way of looking at that. And, like, my grandma died and I cried once. So you just take an understanding that that's what it is to be human.
When Charlie died.
And when you cry...
I've cried more for Charlie than I have real people.
Yeah.
I
Dude.
was like, I was. It was not. It was strange. It was real strange.
And I think that's something beautiful about that whole relationship is like you remember him when he's this little kitten, and then you were there at the end, and everything that he remembers is you, and I think that there's something wonderful about that.
Absolutely.
And when you're crying for selfish reasons. You're crying because you miss them and you want them here.
Is that selfish?
It is selfish. You're crying for yourself. My loss and me. You're not crying because the world needs them.
What would be?
You're not crying because of reasons outside of your own wants to continue talking to them.
Are you saying there's no such thing as a non-selfish cry?
No.
There's a spider on me.
Oh shit, really? Kill that.
Gross. I haven't seen a spider in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in attics, so I
See them all the time. That's why I made you fucking
Squish.
crawl underneath my house when and fucking do. I didn't want to see any spiders, but luckily they went in and they had fucking
Killed
did it all.
everything off.
No, I don't know if they killed anything, but they did it up all nice and everything else like that. So.
Yeah. But
The non-selfish.
yeah,
cry.
I don't think that there's any such thing as a non-selfish cry. Typically, you're crying because you either feel bad for yourself or your situation, or you're feeling there's a sense of loss on your end.
Mm-hmm.
You have lost something. And especially when someone dies. How is that not selfish to cry over their death?
It just doesn't seem like being selfish is the right word for it, though, because it doesn't feel like a selfish act.
Okay, if it's not...
I mean, you
if
can
it's
sit
not
here and tell me, like,
selfish,
yes, it is a selfish act, but it doesn't feel like a selfish act.
feelings aren't justifications for...
Fuck you.
They're not. They're not. That's... For me, I know...
When did you turn fucking
Sure as a
conservative,
fact.
you fucking hippie?
I'm not conservative. I'm a hippie. And I fully embrace emotions. I just don't let them dictate my actions. I don't let them rule me.
Right,
but
sometimes you can't control. I fucking hate you so
you can.
much.
You can.
There are times where you can't, though.
And that...
You're not a robot.
That is weak.
Oh,
It is weak to give into your emotions and allow your emotions to dictate your actions. And, secondly, every single time you're listening to your emotions, it only makes your problems worse. Whatever is going on to make you overreact
you're
and
right.
feel that
You're
way,
right, absolutely.
it makes every situation worse.
Absolutely.
Every single time, there is not a single instance where acting strictly on your feelings is beneficial.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've done a lot of work on that with myself lately.
It takes time and it's hard, and there are times that where extreme things happen, and it really, really tests your capacity to be able to do that.
I got real pissed off today, dude.
Why? And I get pissed off.
Like, I was almost like, God, I don't fucking feel like podcasting anymore because I got so fucking pissed off.
What happened?
It's not like it was one thing. It was like multiple things. Like,
Oh God, compounding shit.
Like-
just makes it worse, dude.
because I was I was talking to Rose when she was going from job to job, and I was like, all these things by themselves, it's nothing. I know it's nothing. And
Yeah.
they wouldn't bother me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
because it all happened at once,
Yep.
I am so fucking pissed off.
And for me, it always seems like the smallest one is the one that like finally like, you hit me. At least for me, it's always that last one always seems to be like, it's not even a full straw on the camel's back. It's like a piece of straw dust. Like,
Well, it's like fucking waiting for a car to fucking just
exactly
go by.
Exactly.
No, like there's just a lot of stuff going on. I can tell you when we're not recording.
Fair enough.
That's nothing. That's an email. It fucking vibrates and then fucking falls all over the place. Yeah, but no, it was just a couple of things. Like, it started with one thing, and then just in quick succession, a couple other things just piled up on top of it. And it was just like, God damn it!
Are you serious?
Like, if... I'll tell you after.
All right.
But, like...
I've had a couple of days like that fairly recently, where it's like, nothing goes right, and then everybody seems to be mad at me for no apparent reason, and I don't know... I have a tendency,
Everybody is mad at you for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I have a tendency when I get, like, emotional or upset, there's typically two ways that you're assigning blame for why you feel sorry for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
One is everything is external, so you're the victim, and everything is coming together, and the world is fucking you.
Right.
Then there's the intrinsic view, where all of the problems with the world around you is me. And it's me, and I'm fucking this up, and I suck, and it's all me, and it's all my fault. And I'm the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a tendency where, like, I'll start, if I'm not in, like, the best
So the
headspace,
first one is, like, I've got the shit luck today.
Yes. Oh, I've got the shit luck.
And the other one is, like,
I'm
causing the
up.
shit luck.
Yes, I'm fucking up, and this is horrible, and it's all me, and it's all my fault. Rather than, like, oh, that guy was fucking flipping me off, and that fucking ruined my day. Fuck that guy. And it's like, that's the problem rather than I'm the problem. And I have a tendency to, like, if I'm not in the best headspace, or I got, like, a bad day going on, or, just not feeling it, even subtle things of, like, why somebody chose to word a critique of what I'm doing that particular way. Oh, they're mad at me, and I'm the problem, and I have to fix this. What's going on? I don't even know what the problem is. And it can be overwhelming.
Are you talking about Nicole?
No, I was talking about Nicole, Steve, the guy that I work with.
I see it's real easy. It's real easy, and it's no fault of the offending party for people that you're close with to piss you off, and for you to fucking take it out on them.
It's
even if
true.
Maybe there's somebody or something else that is causing all the frustration.
Let's go back to what I call emotional awareness, where you're aware of your emotions, but you don't use them as an excuse to do things like that. Mm-hmm. And because I know I'm that exact same way. Who's gonna fucking get it first? I love you. Here it comes.
But exactly.
And for me,
it sucks
being
because,
aware
like,
of that helps me not do it.
It's the comfortability. Like, you could be grocery shopping, and there could be a stranger that is just douchey or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call
and
it.
you're gonna shrug it off like, yeah, fuck that guy.
or you don't shrug it off, and you're getting pissed off. You're getting pissed off about it, but you're too courteous to say something. Like, stop being an idiot. That's not how things work. But let's say you're with the person that you love, and maybe they do something that just fucking sets you off. And it was because the other thing you weren't able to vent out at, because we live in a society where you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to vent at people and yell at them and shit. You know what I mean?
I think that it's more important to not do that with and you can even ask my wife. I am a big advocate for, you can say fucking anything to somebody. You just got to go about it in the right way.
Yeah, but sometimes...
You can't just like, hey dude, fuck you because you pushed your cart in front of mine. Like, hey man, you push your cart in front of mine.
I've seen you do this before. Like, I've seen you talk to people.
Where it's just like, hey, you fucked up. And I'm not like, hey, you fucked up, dude. Like, come at me, bro. It's like...
Well, I mean, like, yeah, but, okay, and then...
It's
like, you don't
just
know what
level
kind of
with
reaction
somebody.
you're going to get. What if they're like, fuck you?
Then fuck them.
Like, it's just easier to be non-confrontational because you never know what it's going to be. They're like...
I'm just super not that way. And for me, I've got enough faith in the human race that if
And it's just easier to vent that frustration to somebody that you are comfortable with. Like, you know that you can yell at this person. And these aren't thoughts that are in your head at the time because it's subconscious.
Totally.
And so you're accidentally venting on someone. Now, it's nice if, like, you can vent superficially to this person rather than vent onto this person and at them.
I might need you to marry my wife.
I don't get it.
Because that's exactly the way that things are with her. Is that it's like superficial venting. And for me, I get irritated because all of that stuff, I don't hold on to that stuff. I just
so what you're saying
I
is
either
that she'll
make
vent to you
about shit that like does not matter, dude.
But are you saying that you don't take it?
Her venting?
Yeah.
There are times that I can't. I can't do it. It's too much emotional energy for me to engage in that for nothing.
Well, I've got a lot of experience having been in one marriage already to being single post long relationship.
Yeah.
And then being in another relationship with someone who's completely different than the person that I was with prior to her.
Yeah.
And I'm able to adapt a lot quicker than I ever used to be. I'm able to grow up a lot more than I ever used to be. And I'm able to be somebody different. And it's all about, like, just being calm, understanding the situation, and doing what needs to be done. And, like,
I'm learning that.
I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal to me, whatever it might be. Now, if I were a person who was in a relationship that was not happy where I'm at, there could be big, huge fights all the time, and there could, just be all kinds of crazy things that's like, well, maybe we shouldn't be together. But I'm not that. I'm in a relationship that I'm happy to be in.
Yeah.
So, like, you tend to understand each other and tend to adapt to each other and be with each other, and, like, maybe you will get in fights because you can't avoid fights because sometimes they just happen.
Yeah.
Like, once a month, let's say.
Hopefully longer than that.
Sometimes those once a month ones are impossible to avoid. Those monthly
I don't back down.
aggressiveness.
I just don't back down, but I try not to get, like, there's no other word for it. It is abuse.
Yeah, but sometimes what's abuse?
Like talking aggressively and like talking in a demeaning tone, or being, especially with my wife, who I know is very, like...
Right, but if somebody is doing that to you rather than it just being something that is flowing out, know what I'm saying? So, like like a grenade rather than a bullet.
Again, you're using somebody else's behavior as an excuse to act that way. And then again, so if I
it's not like I'm coming in and being like, oh, I'm having a bad day, so fuck you. It's more along the lines of, you don't really know that that's what's going on. And we just talked about this like 2 seconds ago. Yeah. The emotion and the feelings and everything else like that, and not being able to control them. But sometimes you can't control them, and sometimes you're just pissed off.
But what's wrong with, again, developing enough emotional awareness to look at whoever you're having that conversation with, like, dude, I can't have this conversation right now. I can't.
And you know what? I'm not that guy.
I feel like sometimes, and again, I
wish I could be that guy. I wish I could be that guy.
I have not been that guy, and there are times that I'm not. And
I like to talk things out.
I like to talk things out, like, right then and there. But Nicole...
Let's get married, Dakota!
We can do it now! But, Nicole is definitely much more of, like, I need some time. And learning to respect that is so hard.
It's super hard.
But it's crucial.
It's almost the hardest fucking thing in the world.
Have you done it? Have you done it and, like, had the conversation later? Because to me, something that
not without trying to get that conversation in earlier.
Okay. And I'm that same way. I'm like, okay.
Fuck you!
Yeah, it's been 3 hours. You cool? You ready? It's like, no. But when you do that, and they... Because to me, it's like, well, you're not even thinking about this. And, like, this isn't important to you. And I start, like, Like, you fucked up. You're fucking up right now. Look at you. You don't even care. I care. I care so much because I want to have this conversation and fix it. That's how much I love you. And realistically,
I could
it's
leave
about
you
me.
alone. Sure, I could leave you alone. I could go away.
But I'm not going to. But when you do that and you sit down and have that conversation again, it goes so much quicker, and everybody's like on this
Yeah,
cool
but see, by that
playing
point,
field.
it's like, fuck it, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. But I'm still gonna be mad about it.
I'm still mad.
I'm
but
holding on to this.
I'm tired. I don't know. Long-term relationships to me are about growth and like constant growth. And
Right,
it's-
for both parties.
For both parties, and I'm not the same man that Nicole, started dating. Exactly, and she's not the same woman, and I think that there's a beauty in that, and I can't wait to see what happens over the next few years. But again, I'm just this way. I constantly have to remind myself that I could go home tonight, and she doesn't want to be with me anymore. And that's totally okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to make the decision that, like, I'm going to respect that. If that day ever comes, now, 15, 20 years from now, and you know what it does? It reminds me every single day when I wake up, before I leave the house, I don't just give her one kiss. I give her 30. Mm-hmm. And I tell her that she's beautiful and I love her. And
I don't get it.
wait, what?
Stop it.
What do you mean? I'm fat. Like, no, you're pregnant.
I
and
don't
it's
feel
beautiful. And where are the times I got morning heartburn? I didn't even know that was a thing.
What? Did she say that? You had morning heartburn? I didn't
Morning
even know that was a thing.
She's like, I've heard of morning sickness. Got morning heartburn.
Well, sure, maybe if she's got a little bit coming up, it's gonna stay burning.
I don't know, dude.
Whether it's fucking 8 in the morning, 8 at night,
Yeah.
3 in the afternoon.
I think that reminding ourselves of the fragility of things keeps us vigilant.
Sure.
And that's one of the biggest fights that Nicole and I had was that I view things that way, and she's like the romantic purist.
It's really hard to be two different people and be together.
It
that's
is.
just all. That's all it comes down to.
But it's
like you're
wonderful if
taking two different people and putting them together.
It's super rewarding when you can make it work, and like when you can see value in being the other way, and that's where I've always struggled, is because I see value in my way.
Playing devil's advocate, essentially.
Devil's advocate for yourself.
Right.
Like where you're like, okay, she's super passive and will just deal with things till the end of the earth until it becomes a big enough issue. The only time that we talk about problems and shit, it's me, dude. I bring it up every single time. We make jokes that I'm the woman in the relationship. Because I kind of am.
Sure.
She just...
Are you saying you're transgender?
No. there's value in just letting things go and just waiting for it to pass and kind of waiting out the storm. And when I was 22, when we first got together, I was not that guy.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I was not that guy.
You were barely 21 when you guys got together?
No, I was almost 22.
When did you turn 21?
What year?
You fucking piece of shit. It wasn't 2009, was it? Please don't tell me it was 2009.
It was 2009.
Really? So we started making Patriot Zombie, and you were 20 years old.
Yeah.
And then you turned 21.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's crazy. That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I think I just assumed that you were always at least 21 years old.
No. But
You weren't drinking at that point, though.
No, hell no.
You were off everything.
Yeah. But
Not even 21, and you're
Not
fucking
even.
recovering everything.
no. No, you just I don't know. There was an event that happened very early in my life that shaped me.
Sure.
And I saw value in things that I hadn't seen before, and I gained a lot of perspective and.
See, I got that late.
But I think that it's really, really crucial. Everybody has. I've heard it referred to as the crucible of themselves.
Sure.
Like, and it's always a crucible of your own making, whether or not you have
You didn't steal
external.
this from fucking Arrow, did you?
No.
Don't lie.
No.
That's
But
season
whether
2.
whether or not you have a hand in it directly, or you have other things that you can blame and other circumstantial bullshit. Everything, it boils down to your decisions that led you there, and your decisions to stay in that lifestyle that led you to wherever it is that you ended up. I think that if you can learn to better yourself and come out the other side, you're better.
Right.
But it also takes
survival
diligence
of the
and
fittest,
hard work.
whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah, but it also takes diligence and hard work to maintain that. Because just like everything went from okay to broken, and you made it okay again, it can go back to broken.
Sure.
And
it will.
And I feel like there are some
It's
people
going to
who
break
miss
and
that
fix and
part.
break and fix for the rest of your life.
But I think that, again,
But it won't always be
taking
the
that
same thing.
and yes, but taking that understanding of things makes it a little easier to stomach other things, and you can apply those same changes and new knowledge to other aspects of your life and reap the benefits of that, because you see how it benefited you in the first aspect.
Mhm.
You know?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I've been getting super philosophical.
You've always been philosophical.
Much more
If
so.
you listen
with, like,
to every
looking-
fucking podcast that you've ever done, you're Mr. Philosophical.
That's true. But even more so with looking at having a daughter, because
And now
it's
your
not-
daughter can go back and listen to Dakota on fucking podcast episodes.
My dad was such a dipshit when he was 20.
Can watch fucking Patriot Zombie. Can
Oh,
watch
hell yeah.
fucking... Dude, I was just watching it last night, the night before.
Good job.
Yeah, like I was listening
That
to...
shit was awesome.
It's a lot of really funny stuff. Like, I don't think it's so much entertaining for people outside of the people who experienced it, but I mean, it's entertaining for
Yeah.
sure. All that stuff is on YouTube now, so
Okay. Hell yeah.
every single thing that you've been in is on YouTube
Forever.
forever. The Christmas one, they cut the audio out of it because it's got copyrighted music, but it's on there. And of course, I've got it, so
Yeah.
you should have it too,
Why?
because I gave everyone copies of movies they were in.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you're not gonna kill, cook, and eat a random gerbil?
Nope. I'll teach my kid about death.
All right. There's another side.
Oh, there's
to this.
another side. Wait, do those tear out?
They don't, but like, why would I want to cover the same ground with somebody else? So I'm just gonna work through the book every time I podcast.
Okay.
Let's see.
What?
I'm almost certain I know which one you're gonna pick out of these.
Okay.
Would you rather get blackout drunk in the middle of your shift as a mall Santa,
Oh, dude.
or get blackout drunk in the middle of your shift as a children's barber? I mean, the obvious, easy answer would be
Mall Santa.
right, because then
Because
you're
that
not
means
handling fucking like scissors.
Yeah, I would end up cutting some kid's ear off, and like, I know that if some barber was super drunk and cut my daughter's ear off, I would beat the shit out of that
Right.
guy.
So I mean, like that's
I would
not
beat
even.
the living shit out of that guy.
Like I said, I knew which one you were. Because I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, why the fuck would you?
want?
That's just a terrible idea. Is the NSA listening and they're like, hey, this guy chooses children's barber, arrest the shit out of that dude.
Oh man! So getting drunk in the middle of your shift as a mall Santa, which I mean, essentially the plot of Bad Santa.
Hold up, Timmy. Santa just threw up in his mouth a little bit.
Oh man!
That was awesome. The first one maybe more so than the second, but hey,
Right.
I like these questions.
Like, the one I did last time is really good, actually. So it was, would you rather, what was it? Would you rather know when you're going to die, or see a video of how you die?
Ooh. I think knowing when I'm going to die.
Rather than seeing how it's going to happen.
Yeah, because I think how it happens is really unimportant. And again,
What?
there are
Why?
terrible ways of dying, but if you think, dude, and
Your head's going to explode.
this goes back to that whole thing that I was talking about before, is like, when you understand that pain and suffering and whatever it is that's going on in your life, and it seems like this like death sentence, and it's horrible, and it's going to be arduous, and it's going to be you've got yourself in such a deep hole, and it's going to suck getting out. It's temporary, dude.
Right.
Everything is temporary.
Right.
Your suffering through the act of death is temporary, and then you die. And then again, we go back to the name of this video is what DMT is like, and DMT is the chemical that your brain releases when you die. Do some research on it, dude. DMT's badass.
So they're saying this video that only people who listen live
It's
on their Facebook.
it's from I believe the pineal gland in your brain.
So what? No. So they're saying this video is supposed to represent.
What it's like to trip on DMT.
Oh, okay. And you're saying DMT is something that is released when we die?
It's in your brain. It's a chemical in your brain
When
that
you
is
die.
released when you die.
And people use it as a drug?
Yes, it's harvested from animals.
It's harvested from dead animals?
I believe so, yes.
And it's what, a pill? Or
I
like
don't really
acid,
know.
like a sheet or something?
I don't really know.
Huh.
But it's temporary. I would like to know the time, simply because then you're able to come to grips with it and come to, like, it's a
Well, you
solid
can spend
thing.
the rest of your life knowing that you're going to survive everything else. No matter what happens, you know you're going to survive knowing that today's not the day.
Dude, that would be sick. Although I would be tempted to, like, dude,
To
out of
test
an
it.
airplane, no parachute. It's gonna
Jumping
be sick.
out?
Yeah. Just
I mean-
human lawn dart the fucking earth head first.
It's like, I'm not dead, but every single bone in my body is fucking powder now.
Yeah, I pushed the top of my head through my own ass.
But I'm still alive.
Got it. Nailed it.
Now,
Stephen
cut
Hawking
two,
style. Nailed
the
it.
video of you dying is like you a vegetable just
Or like
done.
going out like fucking Elvis, shitting on a toilet.
Well, I mean, like, I would think seeing how you die, you would be also able to tell when you die.
Nah.
Because, like, let's say, like,
Oh,
I don't look like that.
Well, yeah. Then you're guessing.
Or
you're guessing like,
I
oh,
recognize that
thereabouts.
shirt, I still have that shirt, or something like that.
Or it's like you watching a video of when you die. Wait a second, dude.
It's like you watching the video.
Whoa.
That's gonna happen right now. I think you can get a twofer by watching how you die.
Nah. I feel like knowing, because again,
How you go is irrelevant.
it's irrelevant. Doesn't matter. I would rather know
Under
like
the
the exact date
understanding
and
that
time.
you wouldn't be able to change anything regardless of your answer.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you know when it is, you can't prolong it or whatever else.
Yeah.
Also,
I feel like
can't
that would be
make it
sick.
happen sooner. Like
Yes.
I just said. Like I just said, is you know going through life that you wouldn't be able to die until it's your time.
Yep.
Which I mean, it's kind of how it is anyways. In a non-religious kind of way.
I don't believe in fate. I don't believe in predestined fate.
I believe. Well, hold on. Now, the term that you're talking about is a little too broad for the way I understand things. So, like, everything you do in your life is going to lead you to something no matter what. Like, it's kind of like a backwards fate. Like, you create your own destiny, but no matter what you do in your life, it's always going to happen because you did everything that you possibly could to get you there. It's not by accident. Everything that you do in your life is not by accident because you made a decision that splits you off onto that path. Whether it's like you chose to drink this green one rather than a blue one.
But I think of it like, to me, by strictly admitting how much choice we have.
Unlimited choice.
Unlimited choice. So you're telling me that in a series of unlimited choices, there's a predestined fate for me.
No matter what you do, everything you did in your life was leading you there.
I think of it as a...
But you don't know where there is. That's the only thing.
But you can take, I did crack for 15 years, and I'm going to not do crack anymore, and I'm going to turn my life around. You're heading in this direction pretty fucking hard. You've been heading in this direction for a long time, and you're going to turn the fuck around, and you're going to go and do the exact opposite.
You can't turn around. You're just going to go a different direction. Like the Choose Your Own Adventure books.
No. I refuse to.
How is that so hard to?
Because
Mr.
again,
fucking hippie fucking.
No, you hit a point where like the reason where my life is at now and why I'm here is simply the result of my decisions to go about my life in a certain way.
Yes.
Number one, I could right now decide like, okay, I'm gonna leave Matt's house. I'm gonna go find a meth dealer and I'm gonna start doing meth.
Okay.
And that's predestined somehow? At any time, I can decide, like, fuck this path, I'm going anywhere else.
Wherever you end up, wherever you currently are, is all based on decisions you made previously to now.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you can choose your future, but your future is chosen for you based on how you lived your life up until that point.
But it's a constantly changing thing?
It's constantly changing.
Yes. So then there's no fate... That's just foresight.
I told you, it's like a backwards kind of fate.
There's no foresight.
There is no foresight, but
that's what it is that you're talking about.
But you are not able to prevent anything.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly because simply yes.
Okay, well,
yes,
you're not able to prevent anything. At the same time, you are able to prevent everything, but one.
You stopped making sense.
No, okay, so no. Check it out. All right. So, in life, we're given choices.
Yes.
Whether we know it or not. Like this morning, you could have chosen
to
stay in bed.
Out of bed. Yeah.
Right.
I wish I chose
Both
that.
of those options would lead you on a different path.
Yes.
So, all of these are just different milestones, speed bumps in your journey to where you will eventually end up. But, let's say you, under the assumption that you're able to rewind, knowing what's going to happen, you are able to prevent something, but you're not. So what you did, the choice you ended up making, you were not able to prevent. Like, let's say you get up in the morning and you fucking stub your toe or something, or you fucking piss on the seat because you're fucking tired, and then like Nicole gets up and sits on it or whatever.
Okay.
But if you would have stayed in bed, that's how you were able to have prevented that. But you didn't. You chose to get up, so you were not able to prevent that situation from happening.
Yes.
So, but staying in bed, you didn't go to work, you didn't get paid, so you weren't able to do this. So each decision that you make, something is being prevented based on what it actually
there
happened.
are positives and negatives to each decision. I just don't understand.
So you are unable to prevent anything.
I just don't understand where the notion of like predestiny or fate in any way whatsoever plays into.
It's a backwards kind of situation. I'm trying to tell you, it's a backwards fate. It's not a future fate. It's not like
a backwards fate. Then things that have already
like
happened have happened.
If you take fate and the way it's generally perceived as like oh my god, it was fate. This was meant to be.
Yes, that it was predestined. It was like everything was laid
But
out, and you have
that's-
zero control over where you end up because that's how everything is.
Yes, but most people perceive fate as like some kind of magical thing, and like, you know, like the Romeo and Juliet kind of like it was fate that we were meant to be together. Blah 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 blah. But what I'm trying to say is that it's fate in the sense that it was always going to be fate, no matter what the outcome was, good or bad. Fate does not have to be a stamped on good magical situation.
Exactly. But again, okay, so this is where we disagree. You think that wherever your road of life takes you,
I'm not some kook, dude.
based on your decisions, that your end destination, at the end of your life, where you are at, is preset.
It's preset. No, it's not preset. It's not preset 20 years before the fact. But it changes. It's a shifting outcome. It's a shifting outcome.
Then you don't believe in fate. If it's able to shift,
I believe that where you are now
then it
is
is
everything that you chose to do.
And that's not fate. That's looking back. There are things that have already happened, so it's post-destined. After the fact.
I like that.
This is where you're at.
I like that post-destination.
And that's exactly where you're at.
Right.
And you are.
But everything that you did in your life,
but moving forward,
wasn't going to prevent that from happening.
No, I disagree with
I
that.
think I might have said that wrong, but like the idea of what I'm trying to say is that everything you've done in your life, there was no way to prevent from you ending up right here, right this second. Now I can tell you, Dakota, in order to prevent yourself from getting into a car accident and dying, don't drink and drive, or something like that. Like, there are plenty of options of things that you know what you can do to prevent them from happening.
Yeah.
But if it's something that's going to happen, it's like, well, there was no way I could have prevented this because I didn't do this thing. You know what I mean?
I think that looking back, there are always things that you can do. That's why
looking back doesn't fucking matter. It's already done.
Yes.
You can't go back and change anything.
Then how is there any fate involved in what you're explaining to me? Or the idea of any kind of
predestination? It's not like
100-year
fate. It's not like 100-year destiny. It's
then
it's
like
on
I
the
said
fly.
5 minutes ago, that's what's called foresight. You're looking at
post-destination.
No, you're looking at decisions that you're making now with some kind of idea in what direction they're going to lead you. And that's a developed skill. It's foresight. It's being able to like, okay, so if I decide to not get out of bed today, what could happen? You'll probably get fired.
Right, but those are all based on options.
But that's you looking at it and being realistic and looking what's happening. And you're choosing to not go in that direction.
Absolutely. And once you get to the end of the day,
so the helm
that's
of
the
control,
fate that you chose based on those decisions you made earlier.
You're using
but you can't
fate,
stand there and look backwards.
You're using fate in the wrong context.
Let's look up fate real quick and see what the definition of words we have for fate. So, the Google definition of fate: the development of events, okay, we're off to a good start, beyond a person's control.
Beyond a person's control. So you're looking at it like you have the control, and wherever you're going is a collection of what decisions you're making at that time, and they all lead in a certain direction. This
so what about
would be that all of those external things, you're just basically sitting on a fucking roller coaster, and there's a predetermined path that you take.
What would be the opposite? Fortune? No, those are not it. Antonyms for fate. Where is it at? Free will.
Free will.
Choice. So what am I trying to say, Dakota?
You're trying to say that you have free will, but where you're going is it's development of foresight. It's looking at where we're going to go.
But what I'm trying
making
to say,
right now.
right? What I'm trying to say is there was no way to prevent you, but everything you've done in your life was leading you to here.
But do you believe that
eventually, though?
No. Do you believe that that force leading you here is what vehicle got you there? Was it your decisions or was it something outside of your control?
It was your decisions.
Then you believe in free will.
I believe in free will, but I'm trying to say is you are here
because of some external force that has led you here?
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is it's not fate. That there is no such thing as fate.
That is free will.
That's
what I believe in.
We agree. Somewhere in there I got turned around. I also don't believe in percentages either.
Don't believe in percentages?
Yes. Not like the fact that like, oh, you drank 100% of this. What I'm talking about is something happening. Is like they say it's a 50-50 chance that you flip a coin and it lands on whatever it's going to land on. But really it's a 100% chance that it's going to land on what it's going to land on regardless.
Dude, you were bouncing back and forth between believing in predestiny or fate and
we cleared
free
up
will.
It's not fate, but it was something else.
You're believing in an external force of something, or you are believing in an external force that is absolutely and utterly indifferent to what the fuck happens. Which you're believing in an external force that derives free will. But we derive it from an external force.
Alright, okay, so my theories are a
free
little
will.
out there, Dakota.
It's
right.
free will. And whether or not you think that it stems from something outside of ourselves.
It's free will while we're sitting here, okay?
It's free will all the time. And your free will has led you here.
But
There's no way
but your free will also kind of goes against you.
Because we're experiencing time unidirectionally, we have an inability to go backwards
Right.
and fix things that have happened in the past.
Right.
But at this moment and every moment moving forward, I have freedom of choice.
Right.
And I can change wherever the fuck I want to be at.
Absolutely.
Freely. Then you believe in free will. There's no discussion about this.
But wherever it is that you end up, was beyond your control because of the free will that you were using to get you to where you are.
Yes! No. You can't control where you're at right now because there's a third dimension that we're talking about.
Right, so but also what I'm trying to say is no matter where you end up in life, when you die, no matter what, you are always going to end up there.
In the same place. Like
I'm right, okay?
No, you're and I think that you're confused to some
I
degree.
think you're confused, motherfucker.
No, because I feel like you don't think about this kind of shit.
Get it.
I don't get it. Wait, what?
No, what I'm trying to say. And you don't want to listen to me.
I am listening to you.
It's no matter how your future ends up, it's beyond your control.
When you get there?
It's beyond your control that you ended up there. Like, you may have a shitty end. You might have an awesome end. But whichever one you have...
But that's set up now.
It's setting... You're working towards setting that up now.
And exactly. So you believe in free will. You believe in, right now, your decisions.
Right, we've already figured out that I got switched around by saying fate.
Yes, are leading you in a specific direction.
Yes.
Wherever you end up, is the collection of your decisions.
But once you
That-
get there,
there's nothing
you
can
were
do about
always
it.
going to get there anyways because of all the decisions you made to get into that point.
You were always? You're using were like it's a fucking predestined thing. Like, oh, you were always going to be there. And that's the definitive
We're not at the future
moment.
yet. I'm trying to say now. Now where we are.
Now,
which
you
will
have
eventually
free-
be the future. Will be a now eventually. But now, right where we're at now.
You have all of the choices at your fingertips.
Right. But it's a funnel. It's a funnel.
It's a funnel that leads you to a predetermined. It's been determined eons when you were conceived.
But behind you,
God knew that you were going to be here
I don't know what
at the
you're
end
about.
of your life. You're explaining it like it's the funnel, like it's always leading you in one direction. And
right,
that,
your funnel is
and that
open
is
to
predetermined.
options.
But your funnel,
And you're constantly making new funnels. So if you're the bottom of the funnel,
you're the bottom of the funnel facing outward.
facing outward, and then you make a decision, you create a new funnel, you create a new funnel, you create a new funnel, you're creating new funnels
Yes.
from here until forever.
Yes.
And where your next funnel, you're always going to end up at that funnel no matter what, because everything you did before it was always going to lead you to there.
You're using the word "was always." Do you believe that your decisions are controlled in any way by an external force outside of yourself?
No.
Why is that a questionable thing? It's either you or it's something else.
I'm not
Then
questioning it.
Then how is it that you're telling me that it was always going to lead you there? When you get there, you will have always been going in that direction. That is definitively fate. And then everything else that you're describing is free will. You're contradicting yourself.
Fuck you, dude.
I'm telling you.
Okay, alright. What, in my mind, what I'm trying to say is where you're at now. Okay, here we go. When you make a choice, the choice you end up choosing is limiting
Other choices.
is limiting other choices
Yes.
and limiting outcomes.
Yes.
Yes.
By limiting other choices.
Right.
Yes.
So by limiting those, you're also eliminating other things from ever possibly happening. And you have no idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now you get it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's
You're
another way
defining-
of going about it.
You're defining direction. That each decision that you make is leading you in a direction.
Right. So there are
Good
about
decisions,
a million
good
other things that
decisions.
you're never ever
Next-
going to be able to get to.
Exactly.
Right.
Because
So that's kind of like what I'm trying to say
If you-
by where
if-
you're at, you're always going to end up there. Because there are multiple other things that you cut off from yourself without even knowing it. Because of previous decisions that you made.
okay. So your end destination, the end of your life,
No, let's call it your current destination.
your current destination is a collection of all of your decisions.
Yes.
And the end destination is no different.
Right. So
But with
whatever
every
your end
decision,
is,
You're having direction.
you are always going to end up there eventually. By the process of elimination. Your future and your end
What
gets there.
decides that?
You do.
You do.
You do.
So it's your free will.
Right.
Then why are you telling yourself in your own head, for some very fucking odd reason, why are you telling yourself that you will always end up there?
Whatever
No matter
your
what.
whatever your end eventually is.
Yes.
You've got a million options right now, but once you get to your end, based on your decisions, there was nothing that was going to change that at the end.
Oh shit.
Like the internet got all fucked up on everything at the same time.
Uh-oh.
No, that's fine. We don't need the internet to keep
The internet
talking.
died.
But I mean, look, it fucked
The
up on here.
day
It
the
fucked up on my phone.
internet died. Started singing.
But yes,
I'm
and
gonna wear this little glittery hat.
so we get it
It's
now,
gonna
right?
be super awesome, and I love it.
You get it. You get what I was trying to say?
Yes.
Okay. Are you just humoring me at this point?
No.
I mean, I'm not trying to say that there is such a thing as destiny and fate, and we're always going to end up where we're going to end up. But by the actions we choose in our lives, where we end up eventually, we were always going to end up there by that point because we had eliminated all the other options. Like, I'm not trying to preach some kind of new wave fucking theory here. It's just a basic linear line.
Whoa.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's all I was trying to do, or say. And then I was also trying to say I don't believe in percentages. Because whatever, you roll a dice, you flip a coin, it was always going to 100% end up there.
What force decides that? So you're
Physics?
telling me every single time, like I flip this hat at 6:14 on April 4th of 2017, it was already decided that it was going to land like that. It was always going to.
Think about a dice, a die, if you will. Hold on, let me fucking see where we're at over here. Think about when you're rolling a die, okay? Like, they count a 6 as like the best under the situation and a 1 as the least.
Yes.
But the odds of you landing on any number of that die is the same.
Yes.
So why should the 6 be worth more than the 1 when you could equally land on any number of that die 100%?
100% equally. They are 100% equal, correct?
Yes.
So,
600%.
why that works is because it's why gambling is intriguing, and it's why people...
Which gives you a 0% chance of winning.
That is wrong. If you were to run the numbers and do the statistics,
but either you win or you lose.
Yes, you either win or you lose.
Absolutely.
But there are certain things,
and it's either you win
you
100% or you lose 100%.
That's wrong. You're boiling like a game of craps down to a 50-50. There's one bet on the table. No.
So evens and odds.
Evens and odds.
Right.
That's your one bet that you have 50-50 chance.
Right.
Anything else, your odds, if you choose, okay, he's going to roll a 12. That's 1 out of 12 options. So if it hits, they pay you 12 times the amount of money that you put on that circle.
But
because
if you miss,
then you lose all of your money.
100% of a loss. If you win, it's 100% of a win.
No!
I don't believe in odds, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, how do you not believe in odds?
Like, I can fuck around and play around and gamble and do this and do that, and, you win, you lose, but I believe that 100% of the time it's going to land on what it lands on, regardless of what the odds are.
Dude, you are so confused.
Yeah, but I'm saying this with a very open mind and not being ignorant about this situation. I get it. I understand what odds are. I understand they say you have a certain percent chance that it's going to land on this or this is going to happen. But in the end, it's like, well, I guess it was kind of 100% of what that was going to happen because there's no way for me to go back and change it based on the odds. You telling me the odds is not going to prevent me from getting whatever I get, whether it's a win or a loss.
That's chance. That's
right.
That's all that it is.
Right.
That's
so
what
why bet on
is.
anything other than a sure thing? Because you
Why
could
would
still
you-
lose 100% of the time.
But if you're betting on a sure thing, a 1-to-1 odd, it would be like, okay, well, here's $5. Oh, you won. Here's your $5 back. Like,
make that 10.
no, because then it would have to be 50-50 odds.
Yeah, but
Because it would have to
no.
be fair. You can't bet on sure things, and I think learning to take risks and learning to calculate risks, and like,
Right, calculating
okay,
risk.
Is this risk worth taking? Because even a calculated risk,
Even a calculated
can go
risk
wrong.
can go wrong.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Then why?
So it
why
was
were you
going to
making-
be a loss 100% of the time, regardless of the odds being 10-1 for you, 10-1 against you.
Okay.
You don't like this at all.
because you're describing fate again. You're describing that 100% of the time on that, when you did that exact time, that exact dice roll at that exact hour, that was going to be a loss, no matter what, 100% of the time.
Right.
What vehicle is telling you that that was going to be a loss? Was and
No, but you can't know beforehand.
This was then because you can't. But if you're saying that at that time that was going to be that way,
Okay, if I sit here-
no matter what, if you're saying that you have zero power over that, whatever it is, and we're talking about risk management. In my head, I went to snowboarding. So I decide like, okay, it's a little sketchy.
That you're gonna hit
I'm
a tree.
gonna hit this cliff. We're gonna drop down, 20, 25 feet. There's some stuff down there that I gotta avoid. Okay, everything's cool. Line it up. Go. I go and I fucking break both my fucking legs
Right.
and end up in a coma. You're telling me that 100% of the time, regardless of anything that I could have done, that was going to happen. That was already gonna happen 100% of the time.
No, whatever did happen was always going to happen 100% of the time.
Exactly. Whatever it is, whatever that outcome was, if I fucking end up in a coma and I kill myself, that was going to happen 100% of the time at, fucking 3:30 p.m. on March 15th of 2019. I fucking kill myself no matter what.
Yes.
Then you believe in fate. And you are dumb.
I'm keeping a very open mind about this. I'm not saying this is set in stone.
I cannot live with the idea that everything, all of my decisions are leading to something else that I have no control. And I'm a control freak. I know that.
Yeah, but everything you do is a gamble. But what you don't understand is that whatever happens was always going to happen.
And that idea fucking pisses me off so bad, dude. I cannot live in a world where I think that, because then that just invites victimization.
Let me ask a question.
When you
Think
of the world that way, like, oh, well, that
But
was
I don't.
always going to happen.
But I don't. I don't go around with like some kind of fucking chip on my
The
shoulder.
world was always going to fuck me. Like, that's the
And we
mindset
come
that
back
I
to
go
the fucking beginning. where you're
Exactly.
talking about. Let me ask you something. Do you think there are people who go and play craps knowing how to throw dice a certain way to get it to land how they want?
Those people get scooped the fuck out of the casino.
He's taking too long with
No,
those
you're
dice.
throwing. You have to throw a certain way, and they have to tumble. You can't like slide them across the table. Oh, all sixes, me.
Yeah, but let's say
Second run in a row, and you're just sliding the dice and be like, "Hey, dipshit,
Like-
roll the dice."
right. But let's say they know.
They can't. That's the thing.
You don't think anyone knows how to throw, like pool players, right? Pool players know where to hit a ball to bounce it based on geometry.
I will look into this, but
I
you're
no,
talking-
I understand
you're talking
that all
about-
the factors in throwing dice
Exactly.
is a little kind of impossible. It's super impossible.
There's no constant.
right.
You got the
there's no
table
constant.
and then a square, and then however those fucking hit the table, and you're throwing three
Are
at a
all
time.
craps tables the same? Like all pool tables are the same size. Are all
I'm-
craps tables?
Most are, yeah, they're fucking huge. I mean, I don't know what
Right, but
dimensions.
there's
I
not
don't
like
know if
a
it's
smaller crab
standardized.
table or
I don't
a
know if
larger
it's
crab
standardized
table.
or not.
So like, a person could take dice, right, and know how to hold them in their hand, and do their best to throw it the same way each time for it to land on whatever double sixes, whatever they
But
want.
again, there's still the chance, and it's not like playing pool where it's a genuine guaranteed
Or like
skill.
I could stand here, like there's a basketball hoop there, and I could stand here and I could throw it and I can miss. And I can keep doing it until I know the way to do it so it'll go in every time.
Exactly.
So you don't think that there isn't someone that can do that with dice.
No.
It's too hard.
Exactly.
But you don't think it's possible whatsoever that not one person can know and be like,
Not one fucking person. Because again, you're trying to take something where you have less constants.
mm-hmm.
Does that make any sense?
Yes, absolutely.
You're taking a square, and where with a sphere or like a round object, every single time that it hits something, if it hits the same object, it doesn't even matter at what point rotationally it hits that object. It's going to hit it in the exact same way. There's a single point on that sphere that will make contact. Bloop.
So like if you've got two square objects,
If you're getting two square objects,
cubed.
now you're talking during the throw, you're going to have to make sure that it hits whatever it's hitting.
right, it would
at
be
the
really,
exact
really
same
impossible.
angle every single time.
I bet there are people though that think that they can.
That
do
would be like a basketball player if you put a massive flat spot on half the basketball and you were like, make that shot every fucking time, dudes. Let's show us what you got. Because then he's having to worry about the amount of rotation on the ball and all of that. Because if that fucking flat spot hits, it's going to go shooting off in some random ass direction and you're fucked. And you missed your shot.
So you're saying like a half basketball, or
Yeah. Or
Like
just a flat section on the basketball. If
just
it hits
maybe
that
a
flat
little bit of a flat spot?
if it hits that flat spot,
I think
you're
we've
fucked.
got a new sport on our hands.
Dude, no, like they're dribbling and just doof, takes some dude out randomly because
It hits the flat spot and bounces awkwardly.
Exactly, it's like throwing a football. Like, well, a football hits the ground, you don't know where the fuck it's going. I don't know, man.
Like, have you seen those bouncy balls that are like rocks? So like bouncy balls are generally round,
Yeah,
and then they've got like ones that are shaped like rocks.
like randomly shaped.
Yeah, I think I'll show you once.
Oh,
we're done.
dude, that's kind of cool. That sounds
Um,
like death.
One thing I didn't want to talk about that we didn't get to, and we're like running an hour and a half in.
Oh, shit.
Do you have to leave?
I mean, soonish.
Right. One topic I wanted to broach was like childhood cartoons.
Oh, fuck.
Because recently I kind of got into like G.I. Joes again. Like I collect G.I. Joes because
Yeah.
I grew up with G.I. Joes.
Hell
The
yeah.
little ones.
Yeah.
The 3/4 inch ones. So every now and then I like to kind of try and build up a little bit more. But I was watching the cartoon that I grew up watching. And watching it now, it's like, I don't remember it being like that.
What do you mean?
It's not like so much the content of something. Like, I had a favorite one. And in my mind, looking back, I could have sworn that, like, this character was in, like, all the episodes, and that he did more in them. And putting it on, it's like he's in, like, 2 episodes. And I could have sworn there was more prominence of this character in this cartoon. And I'm like, what the like the G.I. Joe cartoon.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't, like, where was I for, like, if it's, like, 30 episodes, let's say. 30 to 40 episodes. And I could have sworn he was in, like, all of them. But he's in, like, 3. And it's just, it's strange. It's strange being like, I could have sworn, like, because I remember being a kid, and maybe I just watched the same fucking episode over and over and over again, and it felt like more
prevalent.
yeah, like I remember watching the G.I. Joe cartoon as a kid and playing with the toys. And I remember, like, this one was my favorite, and he's always on the fucking TV while I'm playing at the same
Knowing
time.
is half the battle.
And, like... And
Who was your
now it's
favorite?
like Snake Eyes? I mean, which is an easy character to say is someone's favorite.
Hell yeah.
It's an easy standout. But it was, like, a certain version, costume of this one that was, like, blue and had, like, the fucking, like, metal mask and goggles. But like it seemed like he was on there more. Like literally, he's not even a background character in those other episodes.
Yeah.
It's either he's one of the characters doing something in the episode,
or he's not, even
not in it at all.
Dude, that's part of his mystery.
And like I remember the cartoon being cooler, and like I've read plenty of times, like how the quality of these 2 seasons of the series were really low. And it's like, it couldn't be too low, because I watched it as a kid and I liked it, and I remember being not terrible.
Yeah.
But you watch it and literally it's...
You're like, this sucks. What was I thinking?
I don't want to go so far as to say it sucks, but like, I mean, I can understand a kid not understanding quality of something, and it's just kind of being in there and being a thing.
Yeah. They're G.I. Joes. They're inherently cool.
Like, not liking food as a kid is a real easy thing. Like, I don't want to eat mac and cheese. Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. Anything that ain't chicken nuggets sucks.
You know, so I can understand kids only having, like, a very basic, broad concept of how everything is.
Yeah.
But, like, watching it, it's like, it's not, like, I wouldn't want to just sit down and watch it because it would feel like a waste of time. So I had it on while I was doing other stuff, and that was good enough to kind of refamiliarize myself with it.
Yeah.
But like it was kind of disillusioning to kind of have an idea in your head of the way something was, and then it's not like that.
Yep.
But it was always supposed to be like this.
Get the fuck out of here. Wrong, you're wrong.
Do you have any kind of anything like that?
The old Ninja Turtles. Mm-hmm. There was a character called Big Dome.
Big Dome.
Big Dome. He was the Triceratops.
What's his name? Big Dome?
Yes, that Master Shredder made to defeat the Ninja Turtles.
Wasn't that Triceratops from another dimension?
I don't remember particularly.
But
I remember him being like a way bigger deal, and I had like.
Have you gone back and watched these cartoons?
No, but I've kind of looked into it, and it was like, oh, he was in like
one episode,
like a few, but of like the Ninja Turtles that was on for fucking ever.
Right.
Like,
so out of fucking 100, 200, 300 episodes.
Like a shitload of episodes, yeah.
A lot of those were one and dones.
A lot of those characters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were like based on selling toys.
That's true.
G.I. Joe is that 100%. G.I. Joe Transformers, those were just created to be
did you ever watch Beast
toys.
Wars?
Not really.
Like the animal spin-off of Transformers?
Right.
I was super into Beast Wars.
I wasn't into that. Like, it was on in the morning. Like, there was a block of whatever when getting ready to go to school.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into Beast Wars. It was just on.
Well, we used to have to wake up.
But I didn't stop to watch.
Yeah, we woke up crazy early with my dad, and then would go over to my grandma's house until the school bus came and picked us up. So we were
Really? You went from one place to another before going to school?
Yeah, because my dad had to work at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and we're not going to school till 9. So my dad would drop us off at the house. Like on the way. So we lived in I don't know if you're familiar with Skyline Mobile Home Park.
Yep.
So we lived in Skyline Mobile Home Park,
mm-hmm.
and you take so if you get off the freeway and then you're driving up North Virginia.
Yep.
It's on the right hand side. Your
like
first
Raleigh Heights.
I don't know if that's the name of the street. It's Skyline Mobile Home Park. There's
right,
2
and then
entrances.
like those homes over there are called like Raleigh Heights. Like
no, we lived in the
mobile home.
Yes.
Right, and then the houses that are over in that section.
I think it was before those houses were even there.
Okay.
But
so your grandmother also lived in Skyline.
Yeah, she lived on the way out of the complex. She was like one of the first places that you see when you pull in.
Okay.
And so he would just drop us off on the way out to work.
But I thought you went to Reed.
Dude, I've lived so
this is your elementary school days.
Yeah, we moved to Sparks in the
So what school did
grade.
you go to?
Alice Smith out here.
By Rayleigh's?
Yeah, behind Rayleigh's for 2 years. No, 3 years. So before that, we lived out in Cold Springs, where I went to kindergarten, out at Nancy Gomes. And then before that, we actually moved like right before I started kindergarten from a place called Anderson, California, which is just northwest of Redding.
Okay.
So we were living there, and that was where my brother was born. And before that, my parents are from Anderson, and they moved to McMinnville, Oregon, which is like an hour south of Portland.
Okay.
Hour and a half south. But they had moved up there when my mom was pregnant with me. And so, yeah, moved there, moved back to Redding the following year when my brother was born, moved back out to Anderson, was living there, moved back into Redding briefly, and then moved out to Cold Springs. And I was 5 when we moved to Cold Springs. It was on my brother's 4th birthday.
You moved
day
to
after my
Sparks.
brother's 4th birthday, we
moved
to
to Skyline.
no to Cold Springs.
Cold Springs.
And then my dad bought the house, or bought the mobile home. That was his first home that he bought in Golden Valley. We lived there for 3 years. That was where my parents split up. And then
Sparks.
we lived there for another 2 years after my parents split up. And
Then you moved to Sparks.
then moved to Sparks. That was when I went to Florence Drake, where I finished out elementary school. Then went to Mendive for...
Mendive Magic.
Yeah, that was fuck that school. But went to Mendive for 7th grade. Then we moved to Northern California.
Did 8th grade in California?
Did 8th grade in California part of the way, and then came back for the end of 8th grade. I went to Dilworth. And then I ended up getting held back by my middle school math teacher, Miss Shoemaker. Dude, fuck that bitch. But
I thought no matter what, in middle school, they just wanted to get you out into high school.
so finished the second semester of 8th grade. We moved back during Thanksgiving break. So finished 8th grade here at Dilworth. Then Miss Shoemaker I had had problems with Miss Shoemaker a lot. But she
At
was like,
Dilworth?
he doesn't pass me. Yeah, he doesn't
Like,
pass.
you were there for what? 3 months?
No, I was there for the end of the first semester and then the entire second semester.
Okay.
And then she was like, no. So I ended up going to Mendive, and like halfway through the first quarter, like first part of the first semester, my math teacher over there was like, dude, we need to get this dude to high school.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is he doing here? And so I went to
Who's this old guy?
I went to read the second semester of my freshman year.
So
They moved me up in the middle of the year. Was like, dude, we can't just move you up like now. But
started second semester,
Yes.
you're going to high school, so you got to skip that first semester of high
I had
school?
to make up all the credits, and I ended up. So I had to do like these extra fucking classes. They called them Play-Doh, and
Sounds familiar.
you sit at a fucking computer and you get unit credits based on how much fucking computer work you do, and I hate sitting in front of the computer. So I did that, and the only one that I had left at what would have been my junior year. I was supposed to graduate in 06, I graduated in 07. So 2005,
But you graduated
the second
in 07.
semester, yes. The second semester.
But you're considered class of...
I was supposed to graduate, so I got moved back up into the class of 06. And I decided,
What a fucking...
my second semester of my junior year, I was like, they were like, well, you have to take, or no, it was supposed to be my senior year. You have to take government. That's the only class that you have to take. So I decided, like, you know what? I'll have an easy year. I took government, ceramics.
bunch of art classes.
I had 2 ceramics classes and government. That was it. So
Should have taken theater, man.
No, I had theater earlier.
I would have
Miss
taken
Jones, she
that
was
all
super
4
cool.
years if I could have.
Eh.
I got into it late.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so second half of my junior year.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It was cool. I had a good time. I was able to work a whole bunch, and wasn't that bad.
Alrighty, Dakota. Well, I guess that's an episode for you.
Holy shit!
A
Almost
nice
2 hours.
Fucking 45.
Ah!
All right. Well.
Said break the microphone. Fuck microphones.
Well, thanks for listening, people. I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Dakota Cat. Stick left.